I don't need you to put 100% effort into a elaborate, expensive date.
No.
I don't know you from nowhere.
Sure.
So this is my first time meeting you. Yeah. Meet me for coffee. On this conversation on social media, there was so many women talking about, oh, I felt, because the girl was saying, I felt like he didn't put any effort into our.
I find that coffee dates are low effort, they are cheap, and they are the biggest waste of time, honestly.
What's good, YouTube? This is Flair. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got something pretty good. We got this beautiful sister jumping on here, letting it be known that today, these women today are just wild. All right, just wild, entitled, ungrateful, hypocritical, because they want to say they say they want a chivalrous man, right? They swear up and down that men killed chivalry, but then turn around and say, hey, well, we don't want no coffee date. Well, we don't want this. Well, we don't want no walk in the park. Why you don't want something free? Why you don't want something that can be easy on a man's pocket, but also at the same time, you're still getting something. You're still getting something in return. You're still getting a little date. You're still getting a guy paying for your coffee, because Starbucks ain't cheap, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's going to want to go to Starbucks. I'm pretty sure if you go to a nice little area with some water, nice, pretty sunny day, you just walking downtown, that's a pretty good date if you ask me. You're out in public, because many women like to use the excuse that men are violent and yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool, whatever, right? Go out in public, go downtown. I think that would be the best spot. Go downtown, uptown, or whatever. You go to certain restaurants. You can go to a pretty decent restaurant. You ain't gotta spend a whole lot of money. But specifically, just talking about a coffee date, you can easily do a coffee date. But a lot of women are clowning coffee dates. You don't believe me? Look at these two sisters. Shout out to O'Shea Du Jackson, because he even talked about this video, right? He talked about these two sisters some months back.
Rules is I don't do coffee or drink dates. Now, I understand that some women like this or prefer this because it's a quick turnaround, 30 to 45 minutes. If you don't like him, you can get out of there. It works for some people. If you like it, I love it. This video is not for you. Keep scrolling. However, for me, as for me and my household, we're going to have higher standards. I'm talking to this guy, and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking for a couple days, and he started talking about meeting up. So he said, we should get together over some pear and lychee cocktails soon. And I said, that's really sweet, but I prefer dinner. I like to get dressed up. Now, I always try to say it nicely because I don't want to be like, I don't accept drink dates. Like, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, you can be nice about it. But I always just say I prefer dinner because I like to get dressed up. And he said, I see. What type of places do you have in mind? So I sent him a list of places that I've been like wanting to try, all sorts of different budgets. Okay. It ranges from like medium to a little bit higher, all different locations around the city. So he can choose like what works for him, you know, timing and budget wise. So I sent the list of places. He says, these places sound really nice. I think it'll be fun to get to know each other over some nicer dining options. Here it comes though. But I wanted to let you know up front that if we were to meet at one of those places, I'm comfortable splitting the check. I usually will do drinks or something on the simpler end for the first meetup to see if there's a connection first. So my thing is, I don't like the coffee or drink date because they're trying to audition you.
I do not accept coffee dates from men, and I just want to talk about it. I do just want to say that my reasons are just that, my own, so don't get under my comment section upset or in your feelings. So why don't I accept coffee dates? Well, besides the fact that I'm really not much of a coffee drinker, I find that coffee dates are low effort, they are cheap, and they are the biggest waste of time, honestly. So when I go on dates, I truly do like to look my best because I do believe that first impressions matter. So I really do put a lot of effort into my look, and I find that putting effort into my appearance for $5 bean juice is a waste of time. So when you ask a man, why do you like to take women out for coffee dates, they will give you a bunch of reasons, and I'm just here to tell you that they will never tell you the true reason as to why they ask women out on coffee dates. They're going to lie to you. They are going to guilt trip you by asking if you need free food, if that's why you're asking for him to take you on a proper date. Do you need free food? Are you hungry? And it's really just because they want the woman to be able to prove that she is worth a proper meal.
So as you can see, some very, very entitled women, some women who are hypocritical, As I stated before, these will be the same ones that will cry and complain and say men kill chivalry. But then at the same time, they will be upset with men wanting to go do a nice little picnic, creating a little basket or whatever. Some women might think it's cute, but you're gonna have some women who really dislike that. And as you can see, these are some modest sisters. These are some beautiful sisters. These are some sisters, man, that seem to carry themselves in a proper manner. But at the same time, they have high standards. And a lot of sisters are acting just like that. But of course, you're gonna have this sister break the code and kind of prove that stereotype to be some bull, right? But let's hear her out.
I don't need you to put 100% effort into a elaborate, expensive date.
No.
I don't know you from nowhere.
Sure.
So this is my first time meeting you.
Yeah.
Meet me for coffee. On this conversation on social media, there was so many women talking about, oh, I felt, because the girl was saying, I felt like he didn't put any effort into our date because he asked me out for coffee. And I'm like, why?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Like, why do you expect this man who knows you from nowhere,
Right,
to spend hundreds of dollars on you the
gotta
first time
feel
he meets you in person? First of all, sometimes the vibe ain't right in person. Sometimes the vibe can be cool over the phone or even over FaceTime, and then you meet in person and it's like, ooh, it's weird. Why am I expecting this man to invest $300 of his money into me, a stranger?
Period. And he's going on other dates, sis. So multiply that times 5. That's right.
And as that sister towards the end says, multiply that times 5. If he's just vetting you, if he's just in a process of just talking to you, he has to sit up here and pay for that small coffee, that $5 coffee. He's going to have to do that with 5 other women, right? It's going to be $10. Actually, he's going to be buying it for you and him. So if he does that with 4 other women, that's $40, right? That's going to be in the $50. Now, some women may say, oh, well, that's cheap. Well, I'm pretty sure those other 4 women are going to say the exact same thing. So once again, man, your women kill chivalry. Let's just be honest here. Your women kill chivalry. A lot of yours, and it's mainly your sisters that are saying stuff like this. Why don't you want to do a coffee date? What's wrong with a coffee date? Right? What's wrong with a coffee date? Now, don't get me wrong. I think I seen a YT girl say the same thing, right? But the sad thing about it is all of these women say men kill chivalry. How is that the case when your men want to go out here and go on coffee dates? How is that the case when y'all are the main ones shunning men for wanting to take you out on a walk, on a little picnic date, on a coffee date? It's very cheap, easy. Hell, y'all like to drink Starbucks anyway, so I mean, why not? Let a man pick it up for you and just go on a walk. But let's go ahead and read these comments. So someone says they are trying to get what they can before you figure out exactly why they are single. So then somebody says it's only poverty-stricken women from dysfunctional families who would expect the man they are meeting for the first time to spend a lot for their first dinner or meetup. Then he goes on to say the goal is to get to know each other better and not to get fed at an expensive restaurant. Then somebody else said she is 100% correct. An early Panera Bread or afternoon Barnes & Noble's meet and greet is really cool. On a first date, conversation is more important than an expensive meal. Find out if there's a connection first. Then somebody else says this is a fact. If the connection is real, coffee dates are the best dates. Then somebody else says, I agree. I actually just had a very similar conversation with somebody about this. Then somebody else says, correct. Then somebody else says, stop simping over women. A man should always be focused on personal growth, elevating, developing, improving his finances, acquiring shelter and fitness. Don't give your time, energy, and strength to chasing women. You will lose your driven determination and resources. Then somebody else says, no, she's just using her brain. This should be common sense. It should be common sense, but sadly, a lot of sisters are lacking that today. Sadly, a lot of sisters are lacking that. Hey, you got to call them out on it. Because there's a reason why this sister is saying what she is saying, because you saw the 2 sisters earlier. Somebody else says plain and simple. Somebody else says those type of women don't want to know the man. They just want a meal. Then somebody else says simple logic, but I'd had to include any guy that follows a lady up trying to impress her on a first date doesn't have much else to offer. So they probably belong together. And then somebody follows that up with amen, right? So, I mean, hey guys, look, y'all let me know down below, man. What do y'all think? Like I said, once again, women cannot say men kill chivalry. Women cannot say why aren't men chivalrous anymore. because you have many women who do not like the small things in life, who do not like men rolling up with flowers and all of that good stuff, right? You have a very small group of women who like that stuff. And it's sad to say that, but it is what it is. So y'all do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know, how do y'all feel about this? How do y'all feel about this? Once we got a sister to respond to this BS.